Check, check. Just gotta face this way when I speak. That's the only thing. Yep.
Wait. Audience gone. Wait. Shit. Where's the other part?
Ali from ARC to flip the coin. Tails is the call from Sunny from Kings. And tails it is Sunny winning the toss. A quick word, go to the skippers if you skip around. Sunny, any changes in your game?
Louder!
Any particular reason why you choose to fold as opposed to that?
Get them out early, and that's our plan.
Okay, thank you, Heno. Good luck. Ali, any changes in your side?
Yeah, Ahmed is out. I'm coming back in. The back is doing pretty good, so I'm in. Ahmed is out. That's the only change we have.
Awesome. It's good to have you back. I'm glad you're feeling okay. What are the plans today? The fact that you have been actually put into bat first.
Well, we were gonna bowl. If he had won the toss, we were gonna bowl too. So I think they made a good decision. Now it means we're gonna stick to the basics and try to put on some runs on the board, at least 160, so we have a chance to defend it. They've been doing pretty good in the season, so I think it's gonna be a good game.
Awesome. That's what we hope. Good luck. News from the center is Sunny from Kings having won the toss and deciding to bowl first. As Ali Chaudhry from ARC says, had he won the toss, he would have also gone for the bowling. So that's an interesting choice. We look forward to having an exciting and a close contest in this semifinal number 2 of BPL's inaugural Liberty Cup. The reason we keep repeating the word inaugural, because given how exciting this has been, we certainly hope that there are many to come.
Welcome back to the BPL cricket field for the second of the semi-finals, and this the inaugural Liberty Cup T20 tournament from Bolingbrook, Illinois. This semi-final sees the Kings 11 taking on ARC, the local team. And the news from the middle is that the Kings 11 have won the toss and elected to bowl first, and the big Pakistani Najaf Shah has the ball in hand. Swing and a miss to start proceedings outside the off stump. Najaf Shah has been a superstar for the Kings 11 with the ball so far. All batsmen have really struggled to get bat on ball.
Absolutely, against Najaf they have, haven't they? Zohad, having been a prolific opening batter, having represented many local teams in recent past.
And he'll get a run here. Will Zohad running it down to Jesse Singh at third man. Sorry, non-striker or striker now.
Zayad Ahmed on strike, taking his guard. He has represented USA in past. Extremely handy top order batsman.
So continuing with a good quality first class line and length. It's Najaf Shah, man with a lot of experience, having taken, I think it was over 400 first class wickets in Pakistan. Again, struggling to get bat on the ball. Bat on ball are the batsmen. Shah is a very canny operator. Can bowl with decent amount of pace when he bends his back as well. At the moment, just concentrating on putting the ball in good areas, making it difficult for the batsman to score.
Yeah, it's quite unlucky for Najaf to be sitting at number 13 in the bowling stats for this tournament.
13 is an unlucky number, as this time pulling Ziyad. Again, Jesse Singh into action. He runs across to his left fields cleanly, gets a good throw back to Jaskaran Malhotra behind the stumps, and just the one run is scored. So just a couple of runs off the over so far, and they're taking a quick single here. Oh dear, and a deflection off the edge of the pitch means they'll get a second. Very unlucky.
Zohad back on strike. Good running between the wickets by these two. Communication between the two being extremely important at this stage of the game. They know they're up against some quality bowling attack. Sensible batting required from both of these to set the tone right up front in an attempt to post a respectable total on the board for their bowlers to have a chance come back and defend it. Unfancied and perceived underdogs, completely consistent of the local talent. They are going to be looking to make a statement against Kings 11 here at this semi-final number 2 of the BPL's Liberty Cup.
Yeah, I missed the dot. Yeah, I missed that second dot in the middle.
Jesse to continue from the far end.
And he's been pretty stellar in this tournament as well with ball in hand. Maybe not quite as good yesterday as he was the day before.
Sitting at number 4 in this tournament from bowling.
And he's going to get a wicket first up here. The simplest of catches to his skipper, Sunny Sahal. So Jesse Singh will probably move up that bowling ranking with another wicket straight away.
He should, and Ziad seemed to be in two minds, slightly going to the back, attempting to play this onto the onside. In the end, soft dismissal, popping an easy catch into the short covers, taken easily. Kings back into the huddle on the track, having made the early breakthrough that is so crucial in this match.
We're getting a bit of an echo from the monitor for some reason.
So far, Jesse's numbers in this tournament.
Here's a look at the replay. So yeah, just a leading edge, simplest of catches. Well bowled, Jesse Singh.
From his 3 innings that he has bowled so far, 9 overs, conceding 40, taking 5 wickets at the economy of 4.44, which is why he earns that spot.
So Haris Imtiaz replaces his brother Zohad Hussain at the non-strikers end, and Jesse Singh with his tailor wicket off his first ball, and a great start for the Kings 11. Obviously heavy favourites to win this match and advance to the final against Freedom Fighters, but ARC would hope to have something to say about that. And there we go, wicket again. Regulation catch to Sunny Patel at first slip, takes it comfortably above his head, and the Imtiaz brothers between them have not bothered the scorers, and Jesse Singh finds himself on a hat-trick.
What an impressive start this from Kings. Bowling, and you're always going to make the incoming batter slightly uncomfortable with that line and length, easily inducing an edge, and as you mentioned, a regulation catch behind the wickets.
As we look at the replay, if you take a wicket when a batsman is looking to defend the ball, you know you've bowled a bit of a peach. He had to play at that. Let's have a look at the replay again. Pitching on the stumps, just short of a good length. Didn't know whether to go forward or go back, and he's clipped the outside edge. Flew pretty quickly to Sunny Patel, but he pouched it very comfortably. And a great start, as you say, by Kings. And this will be a hat-trick ball, so it will be interesting to see what they do in terms of the field placements.
2 slips continue. Speaking to the attacking display from Kings, slips are not normal in this particular contest, but Kings obviously affording to have that option within this power play, having made early breakthroughs against ARC.
So Bashir Iqbal to face the hat-trick ball.
Haven't seen one yet in this tournament. Have seen plenty of hat-tricks of 6s earlier.
Yes, had a lot of hat-tricks of 6s. They've almost become boring. And left alone outside the off stump, trying to induce a drive, but Iqbal was wise to the temptation, I should say, and just left it well alone. And the extra fielders they brought in are now going back to their conventional positions. Still 2 slips in place. Well, there might be. Jesse Singh bowling very well. Oh, and an inside edge that goes past leg stump. Almost another wicket. Instead, he'll concede a single down to fine leg.
Coming back to that hat-trick delivery, I felt he was slightly too much onto the offside. Never really actually made him play, and he was comfortably allowed to leave that. However, yet another comeback after that particular delivery by Jesse. ARC bat deep, currently under slight pressure.
Oh, and an aerial shot into the covers, falls short of the man. But another good delivery, inducing a false stroke. Looking to drive, but not timing it at all. And had he hit it a little bit further, he would have been out. As it is, he survives, does Zohad. So Jesse Singh certainly in rhythm today. I felt yesterday that perhaps he didn't quite have his rhythm right. Something that he has struggled with throughout his career. And again, good tight delivery. There'll be no run to finish what was a fantastic over. Just the 1 run conceded, 2 wickets taken, and at the end of 2, ARC find themselves in early trouble at 5 for 2. Kings 11 well on top here in the second semi-final of the Liberty Cup 2017.
I thought Imtiaz brothers were quite impressive yesterday in their comeback game. Those are the two that are quite often reliant upon from either of the sides they represent. Villa Park Flames being 2 of a few. ARC in a bit of a bother. Both of them having returned to the dugout from this impressive bowling display by the Kings.
So we've seen some amazing cricket in this tournament today, and it really heated up yesterday when, or sorry, the day before yesterday when we saw the Kings scoring 241. Oh, shout for LB. Yeah, that struck him on the full right in front, and the batsman is standing there complaining. I'm not sure why. That was about as dead as you can get. Tell your story, walking pal, as the Australian commentators would say. When you don't move your feet and you get hit on the full right in front of middle, you don't have really a lot to complain about. So the 3rd wicket already goes down. But yeah, just going back to my thought about some of the amazing cricket we've seen. A couple of days ago we saw Kings 11 amass 241 on the back of a Sunny Sahal century. I thought at the time that perhaps we wouldn't see a better batting display than that, and then yesterday they bettered that by scoring 259 on the back of a Jaskaran Malhotra century. As we have a look at the replay here, oh my lord, that is absolutely dead. If you're ever going to walk for an LBW, that was probably the one.
Unless you're Ricky Ponting.
Not sure what Adil Bhatti's trying to say. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, Bhatti's having a laugh that the batsman would question that decision. So yes, when they scored 259 yesterday on the back of, as we return to live action. And he's got him! Well, he certainly can't complain about that dismissal as the stumps get shattered. Who was the batsman? Patel.
ARC finding themselves in all kinds of trouble.
It's actually quite hard to get any commentary in apart from calling the wickets at the moment. I'm trying to finish a thought. So fantastic delivery by Shah. He thought, Jesse Singh, anything you can do, I can do better. And he also finds himself on a hat-trick here. But going back to my thought again, so 259 they scored yesterday. And that's going back to the LBW decision, which looked plumb. And this is the second delivery, or the second wicket. Cleans him up. So, good straight delivery.
Number of runs on the board aligning almost, unfortunately, with the number of wickets that have fallen. Loose and appalling display from ARC's better up at the top. However, they do find themselves against one of perhaps the best bowling display in this tournament thus far. We have discussed quite a few times that Jesse's and Najaf's number do not do justice to how impressive they have been throughout this tournament.
Sorry, not number 6. So just awaiting the name of the new batsman.
New batsman, please. New batsman name.
Oh, big appeal! They're pleading. Oh, it looked very adjacent.
Massive amount of pleading by Najaf and other Kings players around him.
You can refer. Yeah. No? Sorry, you cannot refer.
No referrals. We don't quite have the technology yet. Would have been nice, but
Umpires having a doubt, turning this down. Slight false alarm on this referral capability that a bowling unit may actually want to pursue. However, there are none in this series.
boy oh boy, so the batsman survives.
Looked close from here, but obviously we don't have the view that the umpire possesses.
So in the end, it's just a very exciting dot ball. At some stage, I'm going to get to finish my thought, but I might wait to the end of the over because too much is happening. Oh, full toss, and he's just got a little inside tickle on it. Must have been very close to the stumps. They get a single. Yeah, it's just going very slowly. Very, very slow. Screen.
Thank you for trying.
So Zohar Hussain. Oi, and that strikes him around about the shoulder or chest region. Poor Zohar Hussain has been there since the start and watched all the carnage at the other end. And again, a short ball causing trouble. That will end a fiery and successful over from Najav Shah. 2 wickets in the over. Just the 1 run scored. He's got 2 for 5 off 2. And, well, ARC have slipped into a very precarious position at 6 for 4. And perhaps now I'll get an opportunity to finish my thought. So a couple of days ago we saw Kings 11 get 241 on the back of Sunny Sahal's century. Yesterday we saw them better that, amazingly, with 259 on the back of a Jaskaran Malhotra century, and I thought surely we won't see a better display of batting than that in the tournament. And then the match just before this one, the first semi-final today, the partnership between Stephen Taylor and John Campbell was absolutely ridiculous when they chased down, what was it, 153 in 8.3 overs. Unbelievable. John Campbell at one stage hitting 5 sixes off an over. If you get a chance to have a look back at the replay, please do so as Jesse Singh continues. Oh, and that would probably have been a run out had Adil Bhatti found the stumps.
Certainly a chance. Arif being slightly slow on the takeoff makes the ground, but had it hit directly, could have been gone.
Spare a thought for Zohar Hussain, though, who's been there since the start opening, and he's watched 4 wickets fall at the other end. Down the leg side, not sure if it touched anything. It did not. Wide as signalled. So ARC, all they can really look to do from here is try and bat out their overs and scrape as many as they can, and then hope they can pull off a miracle with the ball, but they certainly can't afford to risk playing too many shots at this stage. 4 wickets down in just the 4th over.
Looking at the bowling figures one more time throughout this tournament, 4 of the Kings bowlers sitting comfortably in the top 9, and that speaks to the quality they possess.
Yeah, certainly. I thought they were slightly below their best yesterday, or certainly Jesse Singh and Adil Bhatti were slightly below their best. Najav Shah continued to impress. And I say that because the day before, Jesse Singh and Adil Bhatti were quite simply sublime. Both looked to have really good rhythm. They were bowling with pace. The batsmen could hardly get bat on ball. And then yesterday they were a little bit expensive. But today so far, Najav Shah has just continued his sublime form, and Jesse Singh is in the middle of a very good spell.
Jamie, if they are able to prevail this bowling side, I'm really looking forward to these against the likes of Stephen Taylor and the co from Freedom Fighters. That will be a contest you're not going to want to miss, folks.
Absolutely. I've got Zohar on 3. And just jamming down on a very full length delivery, almost Yorker length. But he's done well to squeeze it out for a single.
Off the strike after having been hit 3 times at least, including 1 in this over and the last off of the last, 2 of the last rather. Looked pretty painful. He survives, takes a single and gets to the non-striker's end, putting Arif Hokla back on strike against Jesse.
So you can see the scoreboard, lovely scoreboard that there is here at the BPL Cricket Stadium. Oh, and again, full length outside the off stump. The wide Yorker, very effective delivery, and that ends the over. Just 3 runs from it. And the batsmen, the bowlers, I should say, almost have identical figures. Jesse Singh, 2 overs, 2 for 4. Najav Shah, 2 overs, 2 for 5. As we can see, the figures there. Fall of wickets at 4, 4, 5 and 5. Both bowlers at one stage on a hat-trick, and Najav Shah very nearly converting that hat-trick with an LBW decision that looked to be very, very close. The entire Kings 11 team went up pleading for the umpire to raise his finger, but he stood there staunchly, attempted to ask for a third umpire decision. Of course, we don't have that technology here yet. That may be something for year 2 of the Liberty Cup. As we see some running repairs to the batsman, perhaps all those times that he took the ball on the body have really started to hurt.
Jimmy, you made a point about the lovely digital scoreboard display, BPL having set the right precedence for so many things. First of so many things, a proper cricketing ground, permanent sight screens, permanent light fixtures, followed up by upcoming permanent turf. First of the region, perhaps second or third across the country. Delay continues as Arif Hokla tries to settle his pad. Could be a strategic timeout, and an unofficial one from ARC at least.
So all in readiness to continue now. Zohad Hussain is on strike. He's on 4 from 11. Arif Hokla 2 from 4. Apologies for the slightly messy scorecard on the screen at the moment. And he cleans them up straight through the gate. So Najav Shah continues to bowl a beautiful line and length that all the batsmen are struggling with. That's the second time he's hit the stumps. And the end of Hussain, who's been there since the start. But now it's time for him to depart as well. And 9 for 5 partway through the 5th over. In fact, just 1 ball into the 5th over. And already we're getting down towards the lower middle order of ARC.
ARC 5 down for the score of 9 in this 4th over.
And here's the replay of that wicket. Full length delivery, lifting his head, looking to smash it away on the leg side or perhaps down the ground. Swing and a miss, nothing but air.
Comprehensively beaten by the pace.
New bowler? New batsman, sorry.
Najaf absolutely on point with his line and length.
Uzair Ali is the new batsman, and he'll be on strike. Be interesting to see if Najav Shah can get back-to-back wickets again. Here he comes again. Oh, big shot for Albie, but that looked like it was heading down leg. But boy,
No let up from Kings 11 in their application of pressure from the word go against ARC.
like a missile, he's just homing in on the stumps. Everything is dead straight, and the batsmen are really struggling to keep it out at the moment. We've had an LBW and 2 bowls from this end. Oh, and
Slower one this
again.
time.
Oh, manages to keep it out. Real pressure being applied. There's just been no loose deliveries from Najav Shah to give any release from this pressure. Oh, and a short ball. He's done very well to go under that, because it wasn't all that short. Only got up to about chest high.
Ducking is a skill, isn't it? Gotta keep your eyes on the ball until the very last second. Sew away in the right angle, otherwise you're gonna take one on the body or the helmet. Never
Change
good to
call,
watch.
not a no ball. So the umpire sorted it out in the end.
Fair decision in the end. Didn't appear to be a short one, having been called a no ball. Picked up from the good length. Beautiful pacey short delivery that the batsman ducked under skillfully.
And short, and just leaving on length this time was Uzair Ali. Not a bad option, to be fair. I think at this stage they're probably just looking to survive the remainder of Shah's spell.
Absolutely the point I was trying to make. The plan for these two definitely appears to be the case of seeing them off. And that's the conventional wisdom.
Of course, once these two finish their spells, or finish their opening spells, they've still got Adil Bhatti to contend with. Oh, and again, full delivery. He didn't know a lot about it. He managed to get some bat on it and squeeze it onto the onside for a single. That ends the over. Just the 1 run off it. And Najav Shah's figures 3 for 6 from 3. And he may have been at 13th place in the bowling charts before this match started. I would say he'll be rocketing up that leaderboard. And Jesse Singh with a couple of wickets. He was already in 4th place, so he'll be moving up as well. Sensational performance so far by the Kings, and that's why they were probably installed as one of the 2 favourites pre-tournament. And it looks like a change from the far end. No, Jesse Singh will continue, in fact. Good full delivery. Outside edge for a single. So it's going to take a Herculean effort from the lower middle order and lower order of ARC to put some sort of total on the board here, as another full delivery outside off flies through to keeper Malhotra. Another dot ball. They need to somehow form a partnership. Scoring app at the moment It's telling me that a projected score of 44 is on the cards. At this stage, they'll probably be quite happy to get that many. Oh, and a big outside edge. There is a fielder down at third man. So they just get the one. Applause all round for the fielder down on the fence. Not sure why. In fact, I think it's the manager who's playing for the first time. Could be wrong. Another good straight delivery, defended relatively well.
Such is the beauty.
Holding his head.
Such is the beauty of having applied immense amount of pressure up at the top and breaking through, that captains of the bowling side doesn't necessarily need to save any of the overs from the top two.
No, you could almost bowl them through in the hopes that they take another couple of wickets and have them 7 or 8 down by the time they finish their spells. But I suspect that he will give them both a rest and leave them 1 over each. Adil Bhatti likely to come in, and then probably one of the spinners. Maybe Neil from the other end.
Speaking of Adil Bhatti, he has taken 4 wickets thus far in this tournament after bowling 11 overs, economy of 6.
Swing and a miss. Malhotra showing that he's still alert to things, throws the stumps down, but Huzair Ali hadn't left his crease in the end of another over, just the 2 runs from it. First over for a while that we didn't see a wicket fall. So Jesse Singh, as you can see there, the bowling figures, 3 overs, none for 6. No maidens, 2 for 6. Najaf Shah, 3 overs, no maidens, 3 for 6. Both bowlers with an economy of 2. And in fact, we will see a bowling change, but it won't be either of the players I suggested might come on. It's going to be Sunny Patel from the media centre end, the container end, the combox end, the northern end of the ground. Sunny Patel having already taken a good catch at slip.
Going back to the bowling card, Jamie, any bowling skipper will take those number in this fast and furious T20 format. Up at the top, wider off the white stump, left alone by Arif. Dot delivery from the beginning by Sunny.
And perhaps the ARC batsmen might see this as a bit of a respite from the pressure they've been under. Patel certainly not as quick as either Najaf Shah or Jesse Singh, but a very skillful bowler in his own right. Looks to be bowling a mixture of seam ups and leg cutters. And he's going to get a wicket here. The easiest catch you could ever hope to receive at mid-off. So the wickets continue to fall. Sunny Patel gets one in his first. Simple catch to Najaf Shah at mid-off. And the 6th ARC wicket goes down.
Short-lived defense of Azhar comes to an end off of Sunny, offering in a really easy catch to Najaf. Rizwan Ahmed comes in.
As we see a replay of the wicket. In fact, that wasn't the wicket.
Rizwan had a good cameo yesterday. Extremely
There's the
capable
wicket.
of hitting the ball hard.
Just chipping it to the man at mid-off. Yeah, he did have a good cameo yesterday. Really helped his team to qualify for the final, the semi-final, I should say. And a very nice bloke as well to go with his cricketing prowess.
Absolutely, he is. Rizwan takes the guard against Sunny.
But he's certainly got a job on his hand here as far as needing to produce for his team. They're in all sorts of bother at 13 for 6.
An attempted cut straight back to the keeper.
Swing and a miss outside off stump. A little bit too wide, so an extra. And our camera crew, production crew, wants us to make some sort of prediction on the final score. Well,
I
little
won't
bit
even
harsh
repeat
to
what
be doing
Julian
that.
has said. This time he
Oi.
manages to put the bat to the ball. A quick single taken onto the onside by Rizwan Ahmed. Might have been a chance of a run out in the end, but safely home.
tell you what, if it had hit direct, I think he would have been caught short by a little way. So living dangerously. Oh, nasty bounce to the man at mid-wicket. And they'll just get a single out to the man in the deep. To end Sunny Patel's successful first over. He has 1 for 4. The end of 7, 16 for 6.
Off that last delivery, there might have been a second, a tough one, but given the situation ARC's batters find themselves in, rightly stopping at 1 only to finish the over.
And it looks like Neil will wander over to have a bowl.
These two have batted quite a bit around the local cricketing scene. They have a lot of understanding.
Well, they're going to need all of it here as we see another light plane fly overhead. Arif, currently the top scorer in the innings so far with 5. Everyone out for single figures. Big shot this. And the catch is taken. So finally a decent looking shot, but he's picked out the man in the deep. Who's the bowler? It's not. Are you sure it's Neil? I don't think it is.
Definitely one of the first shots of the innings from ARC that actually looked to do the distance. Slightly coming short. A tumbling fine catch into the mid-wicket region.
Ball Dylan.
Skipper Ali Chaudhry coming in for ARC, the man behind Al Rafiq Consulting, providing proficient IT SharePoint-centric services in the Chicagoland region. He has a job on his hand. He's going to have to play out of his skin, play a skipper's knock to carry ARC to a manageable, respectable total. A tough task indeed.
Right there. I'm going to use it. I'm stealing it.
But he certainly has a recognized batsman on the other hand. Kings not quite into the tail-enders yet, but this might be the last recognized pair from the batting point of view that ARC possesses. So a lot to ask for from these two, such as the pressure situation and the contest of the game.
Who's the new batsman? Ali Chaudhry. So Ali Chaudhry, the new batsman, manages to keep out the first ball, which is a moral victory for the team, the way they're going. Another dot. So it is Paul Dillon, in fact, is the new bowler, and the catch taken in the deep by Neil. We thought Neil was coming into bowl, but Dillon is the man. And this time, tickled round the corner. Chowdhury will get off the mark with a couple. Good throw coming in, but made it safely home. So the top scorer in the innings has been dismissed. Dismissed for 5.
We have seen some good throwbacks from the deep, haven't we? This one right on target, right above the off stump, making it easy for the keeper.
So 7 down, and the good bowling continues. Perhaps you might have thought that there might have been a let up once Jesse Singh and Najav Shah finished their spells. So Peel for a stumping, not out, and that ends a pretty good over. But yeah, there has been no let up because both Sunny Patel and Paul Dillon, coming in for their first overs, have taken a wicket each already. 19 for 7 off 8. Patel will continue from the media centre end. Pulled into the onside, decent shot this, it might get to the fence, and it does. So a boundary for Ahmed, and he now equals the top score of the innings. (23 for 7), the first boundary of the innings, I believe, coming in the 9th over. Driving in the air. Just 1 run.
Moment of respite for ARC's batters after that boundary.
Oh, tell you what, he could have been in trouble if he didn't get bat on that one, stepping right across his stumps.
Jamie, we knew from the get-go that they were going to be up against some quality bowling, and it might have been hard for them to score freely, but certainly did not expect this.
No. And we've been treated to some amazing cricket. As I was saying earlier, talking about the batting, this is an example of a magnificent bowling display by Kings 11. Oi, as a play and a miss. Trying to be a bit too cute as Chowdhury, looking to run it down. So a single this time as it beats the bowler to finish the over. And after 9, 25 for 7 is the score.
Yeah, spot of a bother for them, currently sitting at 2.76 run rate at the end of the 9th over. So 11 to go, and they're going to have to work really hard to put a respectable, defendable total against the strong batting lineup that Kings possess.
So Dillon will continue. So Ahmed on 6, Chowdhury on 3. The batsman should be on 6 and 3.
Oh, a good one. to Ali, almost inducing an outside edge. Well played at the end for a dot delivery. Sunny continues. This one played with some finesse down into the fine leg region. They run the first one hard. Ali Chaudhry sent back by Rizwan for the second. Could have been a close call. Wise decision by Rizwan.
Oh, outside edge, but it flew wide of the solitary slip to E. Banks in the gully, landing short of him. But another false shot induced from the bowling of Paul Dillon, who's been very impressive so far. Oh, short this time, attempting to pull. Another swing and a miss. Short again, defended on the back foot.
One way or the other, they're going to have to find some sort of a run flow in their innings.
Slow ball, he skied it. And the captain calls and takes the catch, Sunny Sahal. So another wicket for Paul Dillon, his second, and ARC for further into the mire.
Rizwan goes back for his 6 off of 8. It was never going to be easy for him after the early loss of wickets. Short-lived defense comes to an end. Shaz Latif, the 12th man, runs in with some drinks for his skipper.
Here's a replay of the dismissal. Slower ball, well bowled, looking to heave it away down the ground, big top edge. Sunny Sahal calling for it. He takes it comfortably. So
ARC at 26 for 8 at the end of that 10th over, going at about 2.6 and over.
Agha Sabir is the new bowler, Javed Patel the new batsman. Patel will be on strike. Javed Patel's on strike, right? New batsman. So Patel getting bat on ball, which in this innings is a moral victory, really. This time digging it into the ground. No run. Agha Sabir, man who has played first-class cricket in Pakistan. Looking to get through his overs quickly. Some sharp work from Jaskaran Malhotra behind the stumps, and he's looked good behind the stumps this entire tournament. Clearly he's impressed with the bat as well. Short this time. Very hopeful appeal for LBW. Oh, in fact, they're going to scamper through for a leg by, and they might get a second here as well. So a bit untidy from the Kings, ending up conceding 2 leg buys. Very hopeful shot for LBW, resulting in 2 leg byes. And this time he gets some bat on it round the corner. Another run. Patel off the mark, which brings Chowdhury onto strike, and he's got an opportunity here to top score for ARC. 4 not out currently, so heading towards the top score, which I believe is 6.
And at this stage of the game, Jamie, I think would venture a guess for the skipper to bring back either Jesse or Najaf into the attack.
Yes, this partnership is threatening to take the game away from them, so they better bring back the big guns. But no, it may be an opportunity just to give some of the other bowlers a go as well, as we see a bowling change from the far end, with Damien Ebanks coming on to bowl his... Oh no, sorry, you're right, it is Najaf Shah coming back. So they are looking to wrap things up quickly.
Precisely my point.
There you go, you're smarter than me.
I doubt that, Jamie.
So clearly they do want to finish this as quick as possible, chase the runs down, give themselves a couple of hours of rest before the big final. Also give us in the media centre a chance to eat some food and maybe have a bit of a rest, which would be nice. So Najaf Shah, 3 for 6 currently, his final over. Oh dear, that went a bit wrong. And ARC have gone absolutely ballistic because one of their batsmen have managed to hit a boundary. A little bit cynical perhaps from the supporters.
I think that's ARC themselves.
And Patel races to 5.
26 balls.
Decent shot again. Oh wow, the last one wasn't a decent shot, it was a false shot for 4. But this one laid it off into the point region for a single, nicely done. And he moves to 6. I believe he's equal top scorer so far.
And here's a quick look at this energized dugout. All the sounds that you've been hearing, folks.
Another outside edge induced. Another single the result. 35 for 8. So in the context of the match, a pretty expensive over currently underway from Najaf Shah, as the media centre really starts to warm up. Short, swing and a miss.
We want food.
It's getting very warm here. We had a big shower last night, a bit of a storm which upped the humidity, and it's continued into today. And I think the clouds that are hovering around are not helping. It's creating a bit of a greenhouse effect, trapping the moisture. And he's managed to again chip it into the gap off the outside edge for another single. Javed Patel on 7, threatening to get to double figures. This over completely ruining Najaf Shah's figures. And they'll get a single. Boy, tell you what. And in fact, they'll get 2. The throw not backed up. This time it is backed up. And they finish the over with 2, 9 runs coming from it. Both batsmen on 7, 38 for 8 after 12.
Perhaps the only over thus far in which ARCs have been able to score with some rotation, including a boundary. Good running between the wicket. They still have 8 overs remaining.
That finishes Najaf Shah's spell, despite that last over not going quite according to plan. Still a brilliant display of bowling. 3 for 15 from his 4. And in partnership with Jesse Singh, he certainly broke the back of this ARC innings. And at the start of the match, if they had any hopes of competing in this game, Najaf Shah certainly dashed those pretty quickly.
There we go, folks. The stats have been updated for the bowling figures. We earlier brought to you the fact that despite these two, Najaf and Jesse from Kings, having been incredibly economical due to the less number of wickets, they weren't quite up there, and they moved to 1 and 3 after this incredible performance in this game. Jesse and Najaf respectively. Jesse at 1, Najaf at 3, with 7 and 6 number of wickets respectively.
So Paul Dillon has switched ends here. He starts the first of a new spell with a wide. Now reverting to the shorter run-up. And he's flicked around behind square. Jesse Singh chasing after the ball. Not sure if it's managed to make it to the boundary or not.
Interestingly, it didn't. The body language of the fielder suggested that he was in no rush to send that one back.
So I'm not even sure how many they managed to run there. 2. Worked around the corner again, this time for a single. So Patel, double figures. This is Chowdhury on strike now, right?
Indeed. Where's number 2?
So Patel on 10, Chowdhury on 7. Just stepping across. Malhotra unable to gather, so they should get 3 wides here. Indeed they do. Thank you. So some of the sponsors' product being handed to us. And again down the leg side, another wide. So Paul Dillon just losing his shape since switching to the other end. This time he gets it on target. Defended back down the track. There's some of the sponsors' product for you on camera. An ice cold Pepsi. Again defended. Oh, he's throwing the stumps down. And despite not being in the most perfect position, the umpire was able to adjudge that was out. So a run out.
Another one bites the dust, as this one is off the skipper's himself. The loss of wicket in this ARC's innings with respect to the score has been 4, 4, 5, 5, 9, 13, 16, 26. And the last one, that is of Ali Chaudhry, coming in at 45.
So 1 wicket remaining. Can they manage to scrape their way to 50? And there's the replay. Yes, good decision by the umpy. Clearly short of the line. And you can see him looking nice and closely at the crease. Good work from Adil Bhatti to throw the stumps down.
Good work all around from the fielder, the umpire, and our cameraman to bring us that wonderful replay.
Last batsman's name.
Is Shoaib Chowdhury?
Kasim Khan. Sohaib. So we think the new batsman is Sohaib Chowdhury. It is Sohaib Chowdhury. He will be at the non-striker's end, however. And a big high shot here. And that is a maximum. That is out of here. So finally they hit a 6. That takes the team total past 50. That takes Javed Patel to 16, the top scorer in the innings.
Good excitement, good sounds, all around enthusiasm coming in from the dugout, supporting this maximum.
Swing and a miss this time. Appeal for stumping. Malhotra thought he had his man, but the umpire says not out. That completes an eventful over. Plenty of runs scored and another wicket. Paul Dillon 2 for 18 at the stage. And we're going to see another bowling change because, of course, Najaf Shah has bowled out from the far end.
Jesse has one remaining.
It looks to be the skipper.
Sunny Sohal into the attack.
Sunny Sohal. In fact, he's switched it up. He's passing the ball to Neil. Neil Naveka to come in to bowl for the first time in this innings. Just the one wicket remaining. We should finish this innings well ahead of schedule. Although the over rate is still behind where they should be at this stage. I guess having lost 9 wickets, that tends to slow things down. Looking to run it down, which is an interesting shot selection considering there is a slip in place. Catching practice. Again. Not sure what he's trying to do here. Perhaps he's looking at the gap between slip and keeper.
Number 11, left arm, prolific seamer from ARC, having to come in and help their cause with putting some score on the scoreboard.
Swings this time, more conventional shot, I guess. Certainly for a tail ender. The swipe across the line. It's pretty much the stock shot for lower order players. You'll get a couple of runs. This time defended into the offside. Another dot ball. Oh man, still getting electric shocks. Driven down the ground, nice looking shot, and he's split the man at long on and long off. Well done by Chowdhury. Finishes the over with a boundary. He moves to 6. And at the end of 14, 58 for 9. He's too focused on eating.
I think he missed the wide.
That last over went dot 2.4. I think you missed a wide in the last over. So Dillon will continue. Swing into the leg side. Jesse Singh with some work to do on the boundary. Good powerful throw from the deep, but wide of Malhotra. They come back easily for 2. This has gone high into the air. Ebanks with a simple catch to end the innings. So Paul Dillon will finish with 3. And a subpar score is the result of the second semi-final. ARC batting first have scored 60.
Yeah, ARC's bowlers are going to have to come up with something extraordinary special against this amazing batting lineup. Really haven't given much to their bowlers to come back and defend this total. You would feel sorry for them. Such is the contest and the importance of this semi-final number 2 in this BPL's Liberty Cup.
Wide, 2, 1, 2 wide, 1 wide, dot, wicket, 6, dot. Yeah.
Oh, no! Not that cable, man. I need it. You plugged it out. The other end of it. Just follow, keep following. No, the other end, Keep following it. Yeah, this cable, yep. Keep following it. Come close to me. Come close to me. There you go. No problem, let me see.
Thank you, Najib, for giving us a time. An incredible bowling performance from your side up on the top. Were you planning to bowl at them from the get-go, shorter and wide deliveries and causing some pressure?
You know, this is my, actually, I plan like this, you know, most of time I'm bowling. Most of my bowl is unpredictable. I bowl fuller, I bowl short, and then I bowl sometimes slower one. I think on this level, this is not a fully mature level for me. I think the rest of players, like in our teams, some of good players playing. But rest of the teams, one freedom fighter, they have good players as well. But rest of team, they don't have such a good players. So that's easy for me as well, you know, to get them ball and to get the wicket easily.
Absolutely. You carry a lot of experience. We've been able to look into the numbers, having played for Pakistan between list A and first class. You got close to 500 wickets. The question I wanted to ask, coming back to this particular contest that is such an interesting and actually quite popular around the world, how have you adjusted going into the T20 format from a lot of experience from the first class, which is 3 to 4 day game?
You know, it's not difficult for a cricketer who's playing cricket all over the world. I played 10 years in England and playing from 15, 16 years in Pakistan. So this is not a new for me. T20 or whatever is 4-day cricket or test cricket or 50 hours game, similar for me. For a bowlers, for a batsman, basics are very similar for the cricketers in any type of cricket. And one thing more, I will appreciate Mr. Mir and his team. He's organized such a good tournament, and this is a good platform for the locals and some of the experienced players as well playing in these tournaments. And this is good for the youth and local players. They can gain the experience and promote their game of cricket.
Absolutely. Last quick word. Obviously, the batters that you have are not going to have any trouble chasing this modest total down. But a word from you looking into the finals and looking at their batting lineup that the Freedom Fighters have. Any particular plans against them?
Simple. As I said, my plan is very basic. You know, I bowl basics. And they have a good side. I know, we were watching them from last 2-3 days. They are playing good cricket. But cricket, who will play better on the day, on that time he will win the game. Simple as that. And we will give our 100%. And our team is doing really well. We are a balanced team. Good batsmen, good bowlers, good spin bowlers. So I'm very optimistic. Yeah, we will do well, inshallah.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Let me start that all over again. Welcome back to the BPL. Players and umpires out in the middle. We're ready for the chase. Second of the semi-finals. ARC having lost the toss and were sent in by the Kings 11. And it turned out to be a pretty good decision by the Kings 11 as they have rolled ARC for just 60. And it looks like Paul Dillon has been given a chance at the top of the order. And the captain, Sunny Sahal, will be supporting him from the non-striker's end. Javed Patel opening the bowler for ARC. So the first ball of the chase, swing and a miss outside the off stump. So a good start by Javed Patel. Javed Patel, of course, in the context of the innings, actually batted okay. Although when your side's all out for 60, you can't really say that anyone's done too well. Swing and a miss again. A little bit more effort in that one from Patel. Patel to continue. And a dot ball again. So 3 dots to start proceedings here. Of course, subpar total. Swing and a miss. So Izair Ali is the wicket keeper. We finally got his name. Knock knock, Uzair. Izair Ali. Mid-wicket, resting on his heels. Had he been attacking the ball, there might have been a chance for a catch there. But in the end, a dot ball.
This thing is dead.
Maybe all that current flowing through it has finally killed it. Finally cooked it. So 5 dot balls to begin proceedings. Can we start with a maiden? No, we will not start with a maiden. He's got a top edge down the leg side. And we'll come back for a couple. So Dillon underway. 1 over gone. 2 runs scored. Oh, and danger signs for Kings 11. They've fallen behind the run rate required already. Run rate required of 4.14. No, sorry, I lie. 3.1. And they only got 2 off the first over. Oh, they're struggling. I guess the only thing in their favour is that they are yet to lose a wicket. So the ARC committee trying to work out who's going to bowl the second over. Looks like the man with number 4 on his back. Sahib Chowdhury. Left arm over the wicket. Apparently a bit of a legend in these parts when it comes to tape ball cricket. And if you're wanting to know anything about tape ball cricket in this part of the world, Rick's your man. He seems to be an absolute fountain of knowledge. Sounds like he's not a bad player himself either, if his exploits in his mate's basement are anything to go by. So Chowdhury into first class player Sunny Sahal, who already has a big century to his name in this tournament. And it sounds like we have some power going to the microphone finally, which means Rick will be able to join me. Rick, welcome back.
Thank you, Jamie. And thanks to everyone who has joined us online and the folks that have made it here to the ground.
Sahal will get his innings underway with a single.
Good throw, direct hit. Batter had safely made it home. Direct hits are always going to elevate your body language as a defending side.
Now answer me this, is Paul Dillon wearing a pink helmet with an Indian flag on the side?
It's not pink, looks grey to me, but you could be right about the flag.
It's got a US flag on one side and an Indian flag on the other. Can't quite work out what the logo is on the front of the helmet. And maybe it's just a trick of the lighting, but it looks suspiciously pink to me. Nothing wrong with pink, of course. One of the first class teams in New Zealand, Northern Districts, wears pink uniforms in the T20 tournament. Big swing, outside edge.
Taken.
And the catch has been taken. Well done, Ayaz. Took it pretty comfortably, and Paul Dillon's, the experiment of opening with Paul Dillon at the top, shall we say, has not quite worked as well as they might have hoped. But Dillon certainly did his job with the ball.
Yeah, good attacking plan by Sohaib Chowdhury with that line and the length. Inducing a slash, a hard slash down to the third man, very comfortably taken by Ayaz. ARC making an early breakthrough, despite the fact that they are up against a monumental task in trying to keep the Kings 11 down. An early breakthrough as such is always going to help their mission, their body language, and the statement that they would be looking to make at the finish of this tournament for them, perhaps.
So it is in fact Jaskaran Malhotra striding to the middle. I thought it was someone else for a moment, but my eyes were playing tricks on me. So it's the 2 century makers out there in partnership at the moment. Jaskaran Malhotra currently the equal highest score of the tournament with 132. And Sunny Sahal got, I think, about 118 in his innings a couple of days ago. Thanks to our sponsors, Liberty Medical Centre, Pepsi and Gatorade. appreciate all you've done for this tournament. Short, pulled. There'll be runs here for Sahal. And in fact, there'll be 4 of them. So the first boundary, I believe, of the chase.
Yeah, if they're to chase this down, that's how they're going to have to play.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to have to look to find the boundary on regular occasion. They really don't want this run rate required to get out of control. Currently sitting at 2.86.
Quite threatening.
Knocked into the leg side for another single to follow the boundary, follow up the boundary. Good batting. And we'll have to wait and see if the momentum that Jaskaran had yesterday will continue into today's innings. He hit 15 sixes in his 132. Had he batted through to the end of the 20 overs, there's no doubt he would have got close to 150, but dismissed a couple of overs before the end. And that answers that question as he launches his first ball miles over square leg for 6.
Massive, massive 6. Sounded amazing, was always going to do the distance the second it left the blade.
And that's certainly going to help them in their run chase. So starting to get a little bit nervous after losing 1 wicket, falling behind the run rate required after the first over. But those nerves would have been calmed somewhat with that shot.
Jimmy, I think both of us may have confused the run rate with the required run rate, but I'm absolutely enjoying the banter.
This time respecting a good delivery from Chowdhury, and he just takes the single. Over completed, a successful one for Chowdhury. He is 1 for 14. The score is 16 for 1 after 2. A further 45 runs required from 18 overs. So, of course, you will recognise that I am being a little bit facetious in my comments about the run rate required, etc. This has been a subpar total by ARC, and probably 999 times out of 1,000 you'd expect Kings 11 to chase this down with ease, and they've started comfortably enough. Sure, they've lost a wicket, but with Malhotra and Sunny Sahal at the crease, there's nothing to suggest they won't do this in an absolute canter. Javed Patel will continue from the media centre end. Obviously things not panning out for ARC in the semi-final as they would have liked, but let's give them credit for getting their way all the way to the semi-final. They obviously had to win one of their round robin matches to do so. Oh, big top edge. This could be the second wicket. Oh, well taken.
What a catch.
Very good catch. By number 7.
It was up forever, and he had to make quite a bit of ground. Did it fantastically at the end as the ball hurled down after a massive amount of delay, at least what it looked to a naked eye. ARC finding their second breakthrough in this innings.
So Bashir Iqbal, the man running from slip, covered a lot of ground. And in the end, clutching the ball in 2 hands. What a fantastic effort. And good to see these ARC boys continue to fight hard. Obviously backs against the wall in this one, but they're not going to go down without a fight.
That is absolutely what I have come to learn, having been associated with some of these guys, that they will continue to fight. and they will make it count in one way or the other. They're not just gonna give it up. And that's what we look to have in our second semifinal. We want to have some excitement. We want to have some entertaining cricket being played. We thoroughly enjoyed the first one, of course, earlier in the day. Combined batting brilliantly, followed by even more and much more brilliant batting by Freedom Fighters.
So Swapnil Salvi is the new man. He's at the non-striker's end. Batsman crossing as that ball was in the air forever.
Oh, it's a good catch. Play for Oman. Okay. Can you guys please leave the media? You guys need to be out of the media area, please.
Clipped into the leg side for a couple. Good running. They move to 18. So Sunny Sahal, I'm sure, will just look to shepherd this innings. 2 wickets down. Not danger signs yet or panic stations by any means. But I'm sure they didn't plan to lose a couple of wickets in this chase. Nice looking drive, this over pitch delivery. And they will scamper back for a second.
Very good throw from the fielder, right on target. Bowler was able to dismantle the stumps after batter having comfortably made his ground.
And they're a third of the way there. 20 for 2. 41 runs required off 105 balls remaining. And I guess without counting our chickens too early, we can probably start to look ahead to the final, which will be this afternoon, kicking off at 4:30. There's a good short ball this time by Patel. Sahal just sways out of the way of it.
Speaking of the final, Jamie, my quick word with Najaf earlier in the post-match interview. He mentions he recognizes the good batting the Freedom Fighters possess, but he has absolutely zero concerns.
Well, it really will be a battle of the 2 best batting lineups and the 2 best bowling lineups that we've seen. After the first couple of days of the tournament, I would have said that Kings 11 were the stronger of the 2 batting lineups, but then what I saw obviously earlier today in the first semi-final, perhaps they're about on par. I think perhaps the Kings 11 bowling lineup might have a slight edge in terms of consistency, whereas the raw pace and unpredictability of the Freedom Fighters is a slight unknown quantity, with the likes of Carlitos Lopez, who's capable of some real fearsome bowling, but also at times kind of loses his way a little, like any good fast bowler does. Elmore Hutchinson, again, capable of some really fiery spells. There's a good straight delivery first up to Salvi. Ends the 3rd over after 3:21 for 2.
Yeah, that's what I find really most exciting about the Kings bowling unit, is that it's not necessarily just a one-trick pony up at the top of the innings from having Najaf and Jesse around, but all the change of bowlings that we have seen today were just as prolific.
Yeah, and they held a bit back a couple of their frontline players as well. Adil Bhatti not even required today with the ball. Camillus Alexander not required with the ball.
Sohaib Chaudhary to continue his second from the far end.
As we see a shot of Iqbal on screen, the man who took that absolute screamer of a catch to dismiss Jaskaran Malhotra. Probably one of the two best catches of the tournament so far. I think the catch by Sunny Patel, sorry, was it Sunny Patel? Samir Khan at slip was another beauty. Pull shot into the deep.
Easy pickings.
Made it look super simple, did Sunny Sahal. Just got into position nice and early and timed it. Backward of square leg for 4.
Granted, he's not one of the tall lads, but how comfortable he seems to be on rising up, meeting the delivery on merits and comfortably pulling.
Oh, so often the good players square of the wicket are shorter players. Yeah, Sachin, Ricky Ponting, Aravinda De Silva, all fantastic cutters and pullers of the ball. Single down the ground.
Ian Chappell. Arjuna Ranatuya.
Oh.
Please don't use that kind of language in our presence.
What did he win them? 1999 World Cup or something like that? Was it
96.
96, where Pakistan lost the quarterfinals against India. Amir Sohail and Prasad going at each other.
Clipped into the leg side this time. There should be a couple. And they just amble through for 2. Easily done. So both semi-finals have been a little bit disappointing as far as a contest goes, but as far as a spectacle goes, there's been some fantastic cricket. You cannot argue that point. The batting of Stephen Taylor and John Campbell. He'd go a long way and wait a long time to see hitting of that calibre.
Yeah, given that this game is not done yet, but neither of the losing sides or seemingly losing sides into the semis would have woken up thinking that they were just going to be completely taken out of the contest forcefully by their opponents.
Yeah, for sure. Big shot over the offside, man, trying to get to it. Didn't quite get there. And they'll come back for a couple, so perhaps a half chance, but Imtiaz not quite able to get to the ball. Maybe someone who is slightly more fleet of foot might have got there.
Brilliant, that's what I wanted to do. Call Azia.
Speaking of the swifter feet, he lives on 18th floor and he takes stairs every single day up to his apartment.
An appeal for caught behind. The umpire just signals wide. And for some reason, the fielder at mid-wicket, after he saw the umpire standing at the striker's end signalling wide, he starts appealing to the umpire at square leg as if he's going to overrule the standing umpire. Bizarre.
Very bizarre. Did you have a talk with him? Could you please try to persuade him?
Big shot down the ground. And it's a 4. Just landing short of the boundary rope to end the 4th over. 35 for 2. Further 26 runs required from 16 overs. 96 balls.
Just about done and dusted, hasn't it?
Well, it would be a very, very brave man to put money on ARC from this point.
I'll take you up on that, Jamie, but I'm only putting 50 cents.
So having a look at the bowling figures, Javid Patel has been very effective. 1 for 7 from his 2. Poor Sahib Chowdhury has been smacked around a little bit. Still has a wicket though, so he'll be happy with his work so far. 1 for 28 from 2. Patel will continue. No point saving overs for your best bowler at this stage.
Jamie, me being often devil's advocate or inverting the scope of the contest, one way to look at this is perhaps Kings not being able to have the practice they would have wanted going into the finals.
Yeah, that is something to consider. They haven't really had a tough match this entire tournament. You could argue that Freedom Fighters have had a tougher road to the final, despite having one less match than Kings 11, as we see a couple of runs. Nice looking drive through the covers from Sahal. But they're a quality side, no doubt. I'm sure they'll be up for whatever Freedom Fighters can bring to the final. It should be a pretty exciting contest. I think that was a bump ball. Oh, looking to pull, didn't get it.
Yeah, I would say this is a very predictable and expected contest going into the finals from the top 2 teams as perceived from the get-go. However, slightly unfavored from a spectator standpoint, not having a single local team making it through.
Nice shot. High elbow, just punching down the ground. He knew as soon as he hit it that it was going to race away to the fence. Such was the timing that he got on the ball.
Absolutely sublime. Pleasing to watch here from this particular angle of ours, which has been really good from the commentary end.
So 19 further runs required. Slashes over backward point, and that will run close to the boundary, in fact over the boundary. Back-to-back 4s to complete the 5th over. 46 for 2 at the end of 5. 15 further runs required off 15 overs. So even the worst of you out there at math can probably work out what the run rate required is.
For those that have joined us online and perhaps getting a little bored, I want to mind you that we have a cracking contest coming up at 4:30. So do continue to keep us in front of you, as it promises to be an exciting game of cricket.
And both teams stacked with big names from all over the world. Thanks to our sponsors once again, Liberty Medical Centre, Pepsi and Gatorade, for all their support. Couldn't have done this without you.
Haris Imtiaz.
Thank you.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Ziad yet. Typically, skippers would have wanted to go.
So Haris Imtiaz. Just calmly played into the offside, no run.
Kings only needing 15 from almost 15 overs. Required run rate, obviously, at 1. Haven't seen a game as such thus far in this BPL's Liberty Cup. This one punched down to the ground onto the offside for single by Sunny Sohal. Swapnil back on strike, who's at 16 off of 8.
And Sohal, he makes it all look so easy. A little bit of swing from Imtiaz, and he just waited for it and punched down the ground. So a decent start by Haris Imtiaz, just 1 run off the first 3 balls. So yeah, 2 stellar teams almost certain to line up in the final. We already know Freedom Fighters are through, and some of the names that will appear for them: US players Fahad Barber, Stephen Taylor, Elmore Hutchison, Akeem Spoogie Dodson. Outside edge, that'll run away towards the boundary and not quite to the boundary, perhaps. And they did only run 1 in the end, which is slightly lazy running, but I guess they have the luxury of not having to go too hard at this total. Yes, and other players for the Freedom Fighters, the likes of John Campbell, Nicholas Puran, to name just a few. So a powerful lineup. Carlitos Lopez, who we spoke about earlier. And then it looks likely that Kings 11, team batting at the moment out in the middle, will make it through to meet them in the final. And of course they're stacked as well. We look at their bowling lineup: Najaf Shah, Jesse Singh, Adil Bhatti, Aga Sabir, the all-rounder from Pakistan. Driving through the offside, probably just the one.
Jamie, given what we have seen before, would the toss matter at all in the finals?
Yeah, my suspicion is that the team that wins the toss will choose to bat first and look to put a score on the board. I just think the old adage that runs on the board and scoreboard pressure on a pitch that is as true as this is one advantage that you might be able to gain when you win the toss. Of course, the other side of the coin is if you win the toss and bowl, then you know exactly what you need to do to chase down the target. So it'll be interesting to see what the captain decides, but I have a sneaking suspicion the winning captain will decide to bat first.
Skipper Ali Chaudhry comes on.
So just 12 runs now required for victory. Make that 11 as Chaudhry starts with a wide. So it's all a little bit slow motion at the moment. Chasing 61 for victory. Kings 11 just in cruise mode. ARC can hold their heads high. Sure, they've been smashed in this particular contest, but they can say that they made the semi-finals of the inaugural Liberty T20. There's 3 other teams that can't claim that in this contest. Single down the ground, 1 run closer.
Jamie, one slight and perhaps an unfortunate aspect of this, as I see it, quite a learning experience, but the local talent that we have seen from Combined Incredibles as well as the ARCs are by no means considered the minors into the local scene, but they certainly suddenly find themselves with such disparity against the international talent.
Yeah, look, I don't want to sound harsh, but I do see this all over the country when there's a local T20 tournament and the local players think, yes, we can show just how much talent we have. And that's not downplaying the talent. Of course, there's very talented cricketers. These guys are all very good players in their own right. But the step up from being a very good player in a local league to playing against players who have had international and first class and T20 franchise experience, it's a massive gulf. And it's not to say that these players can't play at that level, but if you don't have that experience, if you're not playing against this quality of player day in, day out, it's very hard to come into a one-off tournament like this and expect to beat them, as we see a boundary down the ground by Selby.
Yeah, good point that you make. The massive deficit in terms of the imbalance and talent. It's a chicken and egg kind of a problem, though.
And look, it may not be a talent thing, because talent is one thing. Oh, just outside the outstretched arm of Iqbal. Look, there's talent everywhere. I think the advantage that some of these top-class players have is they've got the opportunity to play full-time. They have access to the best facilities, the best coaches. They're playing against other players who are world-class day in, day out. And of course, when you've got all those opportunities, you can't help but improve. You can't help but
agreed. But for the sake of making contacts more interesting and balanced, perhaps a recommendation and feedback going forward is to have a better mix-up between the international and the local talent.
And to be fair, I think we would have seen that had a few teams not pulled out of this tournament at the last minute, which made it very difficult for Mir Ali to pull this thing together. He's done an exceptional job with all of you lads here helping him to even make this tournament a reality given the challenges he has faced. And I think the vision was that there would be more like 4 or 5 teams out of the 8 that would have been pretty even in terms of talent. But it hasn't worked out that way. We've clearly got one team in each pool that's far and away stronger than the other teams. And they're going to end up meeting in the final, which is good, I guess, for a spectacle. Imtiaz will continue. Just 2 runs required for victory now. And that'll be one of them, as there's a misfield at mid-wicket. So scores are tied. Scores are tied, one required for Kings 11 to confirm their place in the final. But yeah, look, the maybe lesser talented teams on paper, they've contributed a lot to this tournament. As we see a big shot into the deep. Is there anyone there? No, it lands safely enough. Goes as it crossed the boundary.
Skipper finishing it in the style.
Has it gone for 4? No, they've just got 1. Not getting a single, so just the 1 to end the match. And Kings 11 have booked their place in the final, comfortably chasing down the 61 runs they required for victory. So we've got the dream final that everyone had hoped for. Freedom Fighters versus Kings 11 at 4:30 this afternoon.
Absolute thriller on hand at 4:30 for all of us here as well as those that are watching online. Congratulations to Kings, commiserations to ARC for coming this far, making the semifinals, having been completely reliant upon the local talent. This has been a dominating show by Kings. Final coming up at 4:30 between Kings and Freedom Fighters. Still have an opportunity, folks, to make it down here and witness this experience firsthand up close.
So join us at 4:30, or probably about 20 past 4 for the build-up, as we have a quick look at the scorecard from Kings 11, chasing down 61 and 7.2 overs. Sunny Sahal, the captain, and Swapnil Salvi, 24 not out each. And the bowling figures for ARC, Javed Patel and Haris Imtiaz doing quite well. Economy rates of 6 and 3.75 respectively. Javed and Sohaib Chowdhury, the wicket takers. But in the end, 60 was never going to be enough to defend. And Kings 11 have cruised into the final. And like I say, we've got the dream final at 4 p.m. at 4:30 p.m. So join us at 4:20 p.m. for the build-up to that final. Make sure you have a bit of a rest, or perhaps spend some time with your kids, have a cup of tea and some food. And join us again at 20 past 4 as we bring you the big final, Kings 11 versus Freedom Fighters in the BPL Liberty Cup T20 tournament for 2017. See you in a couple of hours.